What if your car could understand who you are and only answered to you? In today's video, we are going to explore the powerful assistant that it's built in our XPENGs, the XPilot. From natural speech commands to personalized answers, I will show you everything in this video. So first, what is the XPilot? So XPilot is the assistant that is present in the XPeng cars, and the purpose of it is so that you can control most of the features in your car without touching any button, without touching the touchscreen. So you can be driving and just asking the XPilot to provide you some assistance on navigation, on commands and controls of the car, etc. So it's not only for infotainment, it's also for controlling the car. So it's like a similar Siri on Apple or Google Assistant. The difference is that it's very closed inside the car, so you cannot use it at this moment for communication with the exterior. So you cannot ask for informations on the web or something like that. So it's just to execute functionalities inside your car. So how can you enable or disable the assistant? So first, you need to verify if assistant is enabled in your car settings. Secondly, you need to see if you have enabled the wake word, that it's Hey XPeng. You can enable or disable these functions on the car. After these two functions are enabled, then you have two ways to activate the XPeng assistant. The first one is calling the assistant using the waking word.
Hey XPeng.
I'm listening.
The second way is just pressing a button for the assistant in the steering wheel.
Hello.
There is also a very cool feature inside the XPeng assistant. XPilot knows who is speaking to her. So for example, if I ask the XPilot to open my window, she will know that it's me and will only open my window, the driver's window. You can even toggle this feature inside the settings. Let me show very quickly how.
On the voice assistant again, you have the active zones. So you can define which active zones XPilot will take in consideration for the use of the localization settings. So if you have, for instance, rear left disabled, the XPeng will ignore any command asked by that specific person.
So with this feature, as you can see, XPilot can identify who is asking and can then execute some commands that can be just adjusted to that person. So let me give you a couple of examples inside the car.
Hey XPeng,
Hello.
open my window.
Driver's window is opening.
Hey XPeng,
Passenger speaking.
open my window.
Passenger window is open.
Hey XPeng,
Backseat speaking.
turn on AC.
Left rear air conditioner is turned on.
So basically, XPeng uses in-car microphones to identify the position and also AI-based speaking positioning to identify the person that is talking and then executing the commands just for that person. This is a very cool feature. So let me show you now a couple of commands that you can use inside your car to execute some functions. As there are a lot of commands to use in this segment, I will only exemplify with a couple of them so that you have an idea of the power of the assistant. But I will add at the end of the video several commands that I have tested so that you can check them and see how I pronounced the command and how the car executed them. I will leave also some that didn't work so that you guys can see the limitations of the system. So let's start with infotainment and media commands. So with this, you can control music playing, change the application that it's being used, increase or decrease volume, etc. Let's see some examples.
Hey XPeng,
Hey.
open radio.
Okay. I'm listening.
Open Spotify.
Now playing. Hello.
Next song.
Play next.
Increase volume to 10.
Media volume is adjusted.
Now let's go and see climate and control. So we can control almost all functionalities inside the air conditioning and comfort settings of the car.
Hey XPeng,
Hi.
turn on AC and set it to 22.
Temperature is adjusted. Hello.
Turn on rear defog.
Rear defog is on. Hello.
Change fan speed to 5.
Air volume is turned up to 5. Hey there.
Turn on wheel heating.
Steering wheel heating is on.
There is also the possibility to control some functions of the car, like opening trunk, opening the charging port, opening and closing the windows, etc.
XPeng,
Hey,
open trunk.
trunk is opening.
Open my window.
Driver's window is opening.
Fold side mirrors.
Side mirrors are already folded.
And of course, there is also a navigation request that we can make to XPilot. And in this case, you will see that XPilot will work in a different way because she will wait for second or third command to complete the full command.
Hey XPeng,
I'm listening.
open navigation.
Okay.
Search the nearest charging station.
Okay. Which one do you want to go?
Second,
Please choose which route to take.
third,
The third route has been selected for you. I'll start the navigation now.
There are also, of course, some settings that you can change in the car, the change of the driving modes, also some settings, opening 360 cameras, etc. Let's see some examples.
hey XPeng,
I'm listening.
increase touchscreen brightness.
The screen brightness has been turned up.
Turn off Bluetooth.
Bluetooth is closing.
Set headlight to auto.
Automatic headlights are on.
Change passenger seat to rear.
Passenger seat is adjusted.
So now we have already saw the potential of the XPilot executing some requests that we are making. But there is also a functionality that you can enable on the settings, that is the prolonged conversation. This means that you can tell the XPeng that after a command, a request, she needs to stay alert for additional requests. Let's go to the settings and see how this is done.
To have faster answers from the assistant, you should activate instant response. You have also the possibility to have a continued conversation. So this means that if it is set to off, then XPeng will listen to a command and stop listening and executing the command and leaves immediately. But if you leave it on shorter or longer, then XPeng will stay on a little bit longer so that you can provide additional commands if you need to. This of course does not apply to the navigation, as you saw before, that it's part already of the navigation features, that the XPeng will stay there waiting for other inputs. So if you have the continued conversation on off, let me exemplify. Hey XPeng,
Hi there.
open my window.
Driver's window is opening.
Change temperature to 22. See? It already left the conversation, so it doesn't allow me to give a second comment here. So let's change this to shorter. Hey XPeng,
Hey.
close my window.
Driver's window is closed.
Set temperature to 21.
Temperature is adjusted.
Open passenger window.
Passenger window is open.
But if I wait a little bit, she's still waiting, but he left. Okay? So on the shorter, it will stay a little bit, but you will have to give commands immediately one after the other. Okay? And now let's change it to longer so that you can see that she will stay a little bit longer. Hey XPeng,
I'm listening.
close passenger window.
Passenger window is closed.
Close the vents for the passenger.
The front passenger's air vent has been turned off.
Open my window.
Driver's window is opening.
Set temperature to 22.
Temperature is adjusted.
So as you can see, she will remain active waiting for more commands. Bye-bye.
So there are other ways to execute commands with the XPilot. Sometimes you don't need to say to increase or decrease the temperature. You can just say, for instance, this.
Hey XPeng,
Hi.
I'm cold.
Front row temperature is turned up.
So is it all good? No, of course not. XPilot needs training also. This means that you need to adapt to what she needs to hear so that you can execute the commands. That's why I am creating also this video so that you can easily understand how to say it or how to execute some commands, because sometimes it is not directly what we think it is. I have spent some time with this video trying to record it and trying several commands. So I just sit down in the car, open every single item, and I try to communicate with the XPeng. But for many commands that I was expecting to have made, XPeng didn't recognize the command. So there are also some commands that you cannot execute. Sometimes even when you enter in some place, for instance, when I say open YouTube, she tells me that then I need to do it manually to control inside YouTube. So that is correct. But in some other areas, you can ask, for instance, to open an app, and she will tell you that she doesn't understand what you need. So you need to be careful with regional accents, because sometimes she will not understand what you are saying. For some functionalities, you need to have good internet connection. So if you are trying to navigate and you don't have internet connection, you will have some problems, for instance. So, and of course, there is also limited command flexibility versus some systems that use OpenAI voice. So let me show you a couple of commands that didn't work because XPeng didn't understood or they are not available.
I'm very hot.
Could you please say it in another way? I'm not sure.
Take a selfie.
Could you please say it in another way? I'm not sure I understood correctly.
Tell me a joke.
Could you please say it in another way?
Shuffle music.
Could you please say it in another way?
Open mindfulness space.
XPeng doesn't know how it works.
Open wired casting.
For safety reasons, this app can only be used in P gear.
Liar. Open YouTube.
Please operate manually.
Hey XPeng.
Hi there.
Is my channel the best one in the world? Thank you.
I will leave also at the end of the video a couple of comments, as I said before, that worked and a couple of comments that didn't work. So what is the future for the XPilot? Well, first, I think most of the users are expecting for more languages. So I am in Portugal and I would like to have Portuguese language available, because not for me, because I can even execute the commands in English. But for instance, if I am with my family and my kids, smaller ones, they want to ask to open a window or turn on the AC, they cannot do it in English. Also, an open AI model would be amazing. So the possibility to communicate with the assistants, as you can do it today with ChatGPT or some other AI models, it would be amazing. Also, the possibility to communicate to the exterior, for instance, asking for weather conditions, as you can do, for instance, inside Android Auto with Google Assistant, asking for information from the web, etc. It would be great to do it. So let's see what XPeng can provide to us. So this is basically software. So you can expect, of course, if XPeng wants, you can expect improvements and even big changes on the XPilot assistant on the XPengs. So let's conclude this video. So is this the best assistant in the world? No, of course not. It's not perfect. It's a good one. It has some functionalities that I believe are I don't know if they are unique, but they may be very rare. And one of them is this functionality that identifies who is asking for the commands and executing to only those persons. It's a very nice one, together with the possibility to have prolonged conversations. This meaning you can provide different commands in one single row without asking for the assistant every single time that you want to execute something. And also the amount of commands that you can request to the XPilot are already vast, and I believe that they can cover most of the functionalities that you may need while driving your car, and that it make you not leaving your steering wheel and taking the eyes off the road and just executing stuff using the assistant. So guys, tell me, what was your favorite command that you saw or that you use? with the XPeng, or even if you have a different car, let me know what is the most funny or strange comment that you can execute with your car. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, if you want to see more of the XPeng or even about EV cars in this channel. And hey, before I forget, please check the description because I compiled a PDF file with all the commands that I have tested and that they are working so that you can execute them with you. It's a free download. Just go there on the description and click download and get this PDF for you. Again, thank you very much for being here with me, and I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Turn off AC.
Okay, the air conditioner is turned off.
Turn on AC and set it to 22.
Temperature is adjusted.
Turn on rear defog.
Rear defog is on.
Turn on maximum cooling.
Max cooling is on.
Activate refresh.
Refresh mode is on.
Turn on passenger's vent.
Passenger air vent is open.
Turn on rear AC.
Okay, air conditioner has been turned on.
Change AC to auto.
AC auto mode is turned on.
Turn on wheel heating.
Steering wheel heating is on.
Change steering wheel heating to level 1.
Steering wheel heating is adjusted to the lowest level.
Turn on passenger ventilation seat.
Passenger seat ventilation is turned on.
Change passenger ventilation seat to level 2.
Passenger seat ventilation is set to 2.
Open wired casting.
For safety reasons, this app can only be used in P gear.
Open tune-in radio.
Now playing.
Open YouTube.
Please operate manually.
Open trunk.
Trunk is opening.
Open my window.
Driver's window is opening.
Open rear right window.
Second row right window is open.
Close all windows.
All windows are closed.
Fold side mirrors.
Side mirrors are already folded.
Open charging port.
Charging port is open.
Hey XPeng,
Hi.
I'm cold.
Front row temperature is turned up.
I'm hot.
Front row temperature is turned down.
Open radio.
Okay.
Change radio frequency to 91.6. Open Spotify.
Now playing.
Next song.
Play next.
Increase volume to 10.
Media volume is adjusted.
Decrease volume.
Media volume is turned down.
Open tune-in.
Now playing.
Open navigation.
Okay.
Find nearest charging station.
Okay.
Show navigation favorites.
Navigation favorites are open.
Navigate to Lisbon.
Okay.
Navigate to McDonald's.
Okay.
Cancel navigation.
Navigation exited.
Refresh route.
The optimal route is refreshed.
Turn off Bluetooth.
Bluetooth is closing.
Turn on Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is turned on.
What was the energy consumption?
The average energy consumption is 18.6 per 100 kilometers.
Turn on headlights.
Low beam headlights are on.
Set headlight to auto.
Automatic headlights are on.
Activate intelligent high beam.
Intelligent high beam is on.
Turn on rear fog lights.
Rear fog lights are on.
Turn on reading lights.
Driver's reading light is on.
Set passenger seat front.
passenger seat is adjusted.
Change driving mode to standard.
The standard mode is turned on.
Change power steering to standard.
Power steering is set to standard mode.
Change regeneration to medium.
Energy regeneration is set to medium.
Open 360 cameras.
Okay.
Increase touchscreen brightness.
The screen brightness has been turned up.
Set touchscreen brightness to auto.
Automatic screen brightness is on.
Change to night mode.
Night mode is on.
Change screen display to auto mode.
The display theme is switched to automatic mode.
Turn off ambient light.
Ambient light is off.
Change ambient light to green.
Okay.
Turn off screen.
Okay, the screen is turned off.
Change ventilation to fit.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Open sleep space.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Open mindfulness space.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Open Sentry mode recordings.
I couldn't find the application you mentioned.
Close the doors.
The doors do not come with electric adjustment. Please operate it manually.
Lock the doors.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Tell me a joke.
Could you please say it in another way?
Shuffle music.
Could you please say it in another way?
Favorite this music.
Could you please say it in another way?
Open equalizer.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Change sound settings.
Could you please say it in another way?
Open settings.
Could you please say it in another way?
Turn on hotspot.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Change media sound mode to dynamic.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Disable driving risk alert sound.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Change brake pedal feel to comfort.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Check for updates.
Could you please say it in another way?
Change ambient light to follow speed.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Turn on front wiper maintenance mode.
XPENG doesn't know how it works.
Reset trip A.
Could you please say it in another way?
Turn on Sentry mode.
XPENG doesn't know how it